This news update is brought to you by...
Grab somebody and tell them hello. Your happiness will be connected to flow. Smile and cheer because that is we flow. Grab somebody and tell them hello. With your hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air. This is how we flow, yeah. Grab somebody and tell them this is how we flow.
It's Monday, November the 23rd, 2015, and this is your Barbados Today Morning News Update. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. In our big story this morning, political history was created last night when for the first time in Barbados, a sitting member of parliament was expelled from a political party. The victim is embattled opposition Barbados Labour Party MP for Christchurch West, Dr. Maria Agard. Party leader Mayor Motley made the shocking announcement just after 8 o'clock last night at the BLP Robert Street headquarters, moments after Agard, along with her attorneys Hal Gollop QC and Lynette Eastman, prematurely walked out of a scheduled meeting with the National Council on the protest, at which Agard was set to answer 9 charges. Motley said everything possible had been done to bring about reconciliation, but Dr. Agard refused to cooperate. She said the decision was a difficult one and that expulsion was a last resort. The opposition leader said it was regrettable that Dr. Agard and her legal team did not remain to complete the hearing and defend the charges in detail. When contacted, Gollop said he was shocked at the decision taken, especially in the absence of his client. He maintained that Dr. Agard had not been given a fair opportunity to defend herself. He contended that those who brought the charges against Dr. Agard could not sit on the National Council. The senior lawyer said it was clear that the party was not interested in observing the rules of natural justice, and that was a very, very serious indictment which one could place on a party which hopes to be a government of Barbados. The prominent lawyer said he would be waiting on advice from Dr. Agard before taking any further action, but he did not rule out the possibility of the matter reaching the law courts. Meanwhile, Motley said that the charges had been brought by the General Secretary, Dr. Jerome Walcott, and not the National Council. She also promised BLP supporters that extensive consultations will be made with them before a new parliamentary representative was chosen. In other news now, Attorney General Adriel Brathwaite says despite the Caribbean Court of Justice's ruling on freedom of movement, no Caricom national will be allowed into Barbados if he is suspected to be a threat to this island's security. Addressing a joint meeting of the 3 St. Philip constituency branches at the Hildeskin Primary School last night, Brathwaite said the matter of international terrorism had been discussed at last Thursday's cabinet meeting, and government had taken a firm position against permitting certain persons with Caricom passports into Barbados.
Certain parts of the region who have the citizenship by investment programs, we are seeing some Syrian nationals, etc., come into some parts of the region, receiving their passport because they have looked at them, etc. And the question that we have to ask ourselves is whether or not we are comfortable that because because Antigua has vetted an individual and said that he's good for Antigua, that we should accept he's good for Barbados. Again, and David will tell you this, that we discussed it briefly on Thursday, and it's something that we are going to look at very, very carefully, because notwithstanding the fact that there is freedom of movement, our responsibility first and foremost is to the people of Barbados. So we don't care, and I don't care what the CCJ says in terms of freedom of movement. If a fella comes from wherever and we believe that he's a security threat based on his antecedents and stuff, he will not be allowed into the country.
The head of this country's Family Planning Association wants disabled persons in Barbados to get more active for their cause, including taking to the streets. Executive Director of the association, Juliet Bino Sutherland, also suggests that the disabled and those linked to such groups should even start taking legal action where necessary. She was speaking at the weekend when her association joined with the Barbados Council for the Disabled in launching a 3-week training program for women with disabilities at Hope Farm Neil's Plantation. Bino Sutherland compared the need for recognition of rights of disabled persons to the civil rights and women's movements.
We need more activism, more assertiveness. So I'm asking you to really think as you go through this exercise about the issues, about asserting yourself, about bringing legal cases, about making petitions to government departments or to private businesses who are not responsive to issues, to use this workshop to stimulate your advocacy interests and to work with other groups who are asserting their rights. I firmly believe that to raise awareness, we must unite and press hard for what we want. That mantra that I said, we want our rights and we want it now, goes back to the late 19th century and the early 20th century from the women's suffrage movement. And that was the mantra that many women had to use to be able to get the right to vote, to get the right to have access to property. And that was the mantra that has come through into the civil rights advocacy around people saying, we want rights and we don't want to wait for them. We want to have them now, to put the degree of urgency around it.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
In regional news now, the salaries and benefits of some 1,500 employees in Trinidad and Tobago's gas industry will be frozen for the rest of this year and next year. Their bonuses will also be cut. Low energy prices have forced the National Gas Company to take this drastic decision. In a memo sent to all staff of the NGC and its subsidiaries, the company said it has been impacted by low commodity prices. In fact, the NGC expects this to continue into the foreseeable future, resulting in significantly lower revenues and earnings, much lower than have been experienced over the past 5 years. Comparatively, the NGC noted that across the industry, 55,000 people have been displaced. The Ghana Private Sector Commission is recommending the reactivation of the country's Law and Order Commission as one way of fighting crime in the country. Head of the PSC, Norman McLean, says he did not expect the recommendations to be adopted wholesale, but should be discussed. And these include command, accountability measures, recent developments on the crime, and manpower.
McLean said to address crime, it has to be done in a holistic manner and not piecemeal.
I really would like to see the police strategize properly, to have policemen on the beat, vehicles on patrol, more and better prevention. We have just launched a program for Christmas. I would like to see that program expanded beyond Christmas so that we bring down crime and so that people feel safe and better protected.
The PSC is also calling for better pay for ranks of the Guyana Police Force.
And on the international scene, Brussels will stay on the highest level of a terror alert because of the serious and imminent threat of Paris-style attacks. Belgium's Prime Minister Charles Michel also says that universities, schools and the metro will stay shut. Brussels has been on lockdown all weekend amid a manhunt for suspected Paris attacker Salah Abdeslam.
A state of alert in Brussels will remain at the highest level. Level 4 will remain as there is a sustained, serious and imminent threat against the capital. Schools and the metro system will remain shut on Monday. This will be reviewed later in the day. The army and police presence will be strengthened. Our authorities fear a Paris-like attack, even perhaps at several locations.
And on that note, we end our Barbados Today morning news update. However, you can join us again this afternoon. Until then, remember to log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper and email updates, or like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Also tune in to Channel 101 on Flow TV and Mix 96.9 FM to get all the latest news and sports. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.